Trying something new here at WVSportsNow.com. This is Luke Blain, basketball beat writer, reporter, whatever you want to call me. And I'm going to be doing in the future some of these videos where bring in some game film, break it down, try to explain to the best of my ability what's going on out there on the court. And, there is no better game for me to start off with than what the women's basketball team did Friday night. And which coined them being these five, the Greenbrier Five. So going from left to right, you have CC Riviere, Riley McCluskey, Sydney Woodley, Sydney Shaw, and Logan Johnson. And what they did is nothing short of incredible. Down to Duke in the second half. It's only those five because of a fight that broke out in the second quarter, or at the end of the first half, excuse me, that resulted in six ejections for WVU. With an 11-player roster, this was all that was left. So, going to take you through this game, break down what WVU did, how they adjusted, what they did well along the stretch. But just a couple quick hits to start off. WVU played way more composed than Duke down the line. They also, kind of goes without saying, they hit more shots, but they adjusted their offensive system in a way that benefited them to how Duke was playing defense. And it worked very well, especially early on. They came out swinging to start the first half or the second half, excuse me, but they were just calm on defense. They controlled the pace of the game. That's probably one of the biggest ones. And Mark Kellogg just coached a better game as well. So we're going to get right into it to kind of give context as to maybe some of the frustration at the end of the half. This is what WVU was dealing with the whole game. They were hedging the ball screens. Duke was just very aggressive. Rarely got into the paint, and whenever they did, there was Jordan Harrison having to put up an off-balance shot. But look at how well they just play the perimeter here. They're a long, lanky team. They're trying to get some dribble handoffs there. They're really hedging the screens, especially on Jordan Harrison. And like this one, which resulted in a shot clock violation. So many shots, excuse me, in the first half were taken so late into the shot clock. Under 5 seconds. So there's Jordan Harrison trying again, contested shot, misses. So we're going to pause here for a second. This is the play that preceded the scuffle at the end of the first half. WVU down three. Jordan Harrison is being guarded by Jordan Wood here. 5 seconds left to go till halftime. And Jordan Wood just simply makes a great defensive play. She keeps Jordan Harrison in check, gets the block, and you can see whenever I hit play again, Jordan Wood is going to turn in the general direction of Jordan Harrison and let out this kind of like a battle cry. And I'm not at liberty to say whether or not this was intentionally, whether I don't know what she would have said to Jordan Harrison in this situation, but whatever it was, Jordan Harrison didn't like it, gives her that push. There's the retaliation from Jordan Wood, and then Jordan Harrison's ready to fire back, and she gets one of Jordan Wood's teammates. So it doesn't really escalate beyond this. Both teams get their players back. Everybody's, uh, you know, the primary issue is resolved when it comes to the brawl. But you see right there at the bottom left, number 4, that is Maddie Parrish. Maddie Parrish ran in from the bench all the way to half court. Um, she had not played a minute in the game yet, so her being on the court is a huge problem for WVU. And you're going to see that here in a moment. Here's a different angle of it. Parrish is going to run by. That's Gia Cook right there. Jordan Thomas. Sydney Shaw knows what's going on. She's saying, hey, no, go back to the bench. You guys can't be on the court, which is exactly, they face the consequences of that. And that resulted in this. So going into the second half, Jordan Wood and Jordan Harrison both ejected, given flagrant twos for fighting. And down the line, Carter McCray, Gia Cook, Madison Parrish, Kiera Wheeler, and there's one more underneath my name. Jordan Thomas was at the bottom. Sorry, my little screen was blocking the name, but those five were ejected. So what you have now is you have Sydney Shaw running point. They have to have those 5 players. You can see how empty the bench is. Sydney Shaw is running point for this half. That's not something she does for WVU. She's never been the primary ball handler. She's a great option here in this context, though. The best scorer on the team, leads the team in scoring averages and points per game. So with how tight they are defending the perimeter. You're going to see some high-low action here from WVU. Shaw's going to get it over to McCluskey. Riviere got great position there on the inside, and she just flat out eats to start this second half. And just like that, WVU's in the lead, 24-23. The defense, they got right back into that press that they love to do. Sydney Woodley, number 2, is going to be a huge part of that, and she just flies on defense. They force a quick shot. Then there's a travel, force the turnover. There's a nice little break in the game, given the turnover. And then high-low, right back to Riviere. She finds position, right back in the lead for WVU. So, and what you're going to see here is, and I was thinking this to myself, why isn't Duke pressing more? The reason why they weren't pressing was because WVU's defense kept them from scoring. There's a big time scoring drought that's going to come in this third quarter. But I mean, this is all about controlling the pace of the game. They're trying to speed WVU up. They're trying to tire them out. WVU wants to slow the game down. And I mean, like, look at how far out. I mean, Riley McCluskey is about to step on the half court line. They're guarding her so tight, but they get the ball up, rotate it around. Woodley's going to dish it to Riviere, and this is perfect defense. Riviere just makes a great play, great shot off the glass there. Riviere finished with 12 points and 8 boards. Rebounding becomes a huge issue. Not an issue, but a huge strength of Riviere's down the line. And there's a forced turnover. Riviere's getting hyped. This is where the momentum really started to swing in that building. You could kind of feel the energy shift toward Riviere. They're starting to make some plays. After this, Kellogg is actually on the sidelines. It doesn't show it on the broadcast, but he's saying, hey, calm down, stay composed. You don't want to, the refs really did start calling a tighter game. And when it comes to the fouls, you already see both teams started the half in the bonus from a slew of fouls that came in at the end of the second half. And then here's another play. Riviere, great defense, discipline, hands up, comes down with the board, finish with 8. And here's a 2-3 zone for WVU. You don't want to be running around all over the court. This is something that they do. I don't want to say sparingly, but just trying to speed teams up and running man is their primary way of going about defense. But you're using up a lot of energy that you need to have saved up as this game goes along. So that is where the 2-3 comes in, and they just guard the perimeter. They do it very well. McCluskey comes over, forces that one away, and look at this from Riviere. Yeah, she draws the foul, and she gets hyped right here. That's just energy you love to see, and that's energy they fed off of the whole time. There you go. She goes down there. She connects on a free throw. Then here's Sydney Shaw coming downhill. Boom, there's another foul. And those are huge. Not only do you get free points from the line, but you also get a break in the action, which Kellogg said was a very big aspect in how this game came to be. So it was, they got those mini breaks. They made it to the third quarter or the fourth quarter with all of their timeouts. So they kind of were able to sit on those and use them at that time. And it worked out for WVU in the long run. You can see them, they're still in that 2-3 zone. Look at how well they're playing the perimeter here. I mean, they're just chasing them around. Logan Johnson takes away that shot. Sydney Shaw with the great hands. Inside, contested shot at the end of the shot clock. Then boom, you're going right back the other way. And McCluskey made some huge shots in back-to-back possessions. There's that one. And then, they get right back onto the press. And this is one of my favorite plays from the whole game. Because of the success that Riviere's had so far in this matchup in the second half specifically, look at how many defenders surround her on this play. I mean, she just sucked the defense in, and McCluskey at the bottom right of your screen is going to be wide open, and not even just wide open, but wide open for an inside out shot. So that ball is going to come from the inside to McCluskey, who is on the outside. And rather, whenever you're swinging the ball around, you got to move your head. You got to kind of pull that ball across, and then you got to line it up for the shot. McCluskey's shoulders are already practically in line with the hoop. Great dish from Riviere. Cash in from 3, and then they drop right back into this press, and this is where composure comes into the game as well. You're going to see a turnover here that is just Not a good play. I mean, they're trying to push the ball up this way, but you have the safety valve in the back that you can use to slow it down and kind of, go at the press. But Woodley gets her hands on it. Ball goes right into the hand of Logan Johnson. All of a sudden, WV's back on offense with an 11-point lead at that time. So Duke just lost their heads flat out in this game. I mean, they did not make the winning plays. They played right into WVU's hands and let them control the pace of the game. Logan Johnson again. Logan Johnson, if you look at the stat sheet, you're just going to see that Logan Johnson had 1 rebound. That does not do it justice at all as to the effort she put in on this game. If they had some way of keeping track of effort stats and, just anything like that, then Logan Johnson could have been the MVP of this game, honestly, from what she did from an effort standpoint. But look at that. Sydney Shaw is going to slow it down, take it up the court, have to get some Woodley scoring in here. She did a lot on defense, but she came up with the big shot. So we fast forwarded to the fourth quarter here, 6:46 remaining. WVU leads by 13. The Kellogg family's getting into it. Then there's the turnover. There's the lack of composure again from Duke. Then you have a missed layup. That's another aspect of that too. Duke went 8 for 22 on layups. I mean, those are gimme points. And some of those they did get behind the WVU defense. The defense wasn't there and they just flat out missed. And that was a huge difference in the game. Talking about a difference in the game here, Riviere just picks up her 4th foul on this play. So you're going to see what happens as a result of that. That is on the very next possession after the free throws. Woodley's going to dribble it out, timeout, give the team a break. So this is a few possessions later, but there's a defensive play that I want to highlight here, not just along with the defensive formation. So for time's sake, I just skip forward. You see that Riviere is over on the left side of your screen now, and Makaluski is in the middle. So Riviere doesn't have any fouls to give, so you need to get her out of the highest traffic area. And if you put her in the middle, you're just inviting Duke to go right at her and force her to try to defend a shot, thus possibly at higher risk of getting a foul called. But Makaluski, they said she had never played the middle of the zone, or the 2-3 that is, but she plays her part perfectly right here. Most important player is the one with the ball. She comes up and takes away that shot, have to dump it off. Here comes Logan Johnson again. Watch her. She is going to defend a shot from the reigning ACC Freshman of the Year in Toby Fournier. She's going to come over, defend this shot, force the miss, and then that's where that rebound comes in. That is a huge possession. It's because if you haven't looked at the bottom, WVU's lead only went down to 7 after back-to-back 3-pointers from Ashlyn Jackson for Duke. So then you get to control the pace. WVU is going to turn it over here. Fast break opportunity for Duke. And they played this really well. That's a great pass, great ball placement. Boom, missed again. Those are just plays that you have to have in situations like these. WVU back at the foul line. It's becoming a bit more real now. 35 seconds left. And watch the defense the WVU plays on this possession. Disciplined, hands up, guarding that perimeter, force the air ball, made them take a shot they didn't want to take. And Sydney Shaw is going to come up with this one. And you got to watch them in this huddle right here. They're coming, they're talking it over. Look at this. The deep breath all together, keeping their heads in the game. Sydney Shaw, 2 big makes. Good hands by Woodley there on that one. And that clock is winding down. WVU has control all the way. Woodley, just perfect defense. And who else but Riviere coming up with that board? WVU gets the jump ball. Woodley's going to dribble it out. Now watch Riviere. Watch Riviere. She gets to let it all out. That's just great. Now here's my view. Video that I took from the sidelines that actually has audio. I mean, what a night. I said it on Twitter the other day, or X, whatever you want to call it, but this is college sports at its best. And just the correct playing, the correct coaching, Everything fell in line for WVU to win this game, and they took advantage of every single opportunity that they had. So Duke out of the top 25, WVU is back in their place at 23, which I feel personally is too low. I think that will change though as we travel further into the season. But I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed kind of getting a glimpse into how the Greenbrier Five came to be. This is Luke Blain. Please leave a like and comment, and who knows, maybe some players will come along that I'll be able to break down for you some games. But for that's going to do it for this one. So see you next time.